Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about all of my piercings and tattoos, as you guys have been commenting lots about my tattoos and you guys were wondering what they were. So I will be mentioning all of my experiences. I'm going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 for pain tolerance, and I will basically just tell you guys the meaning behind my tattoos. I think I fixed the lighting situation. I don't know, it's dark outside, so like trying to use my LED light, but it's kind of washing me out with my walls and everything, so bear with me on that. Basically, I'm going to start off with my ear piercings. I got my ears pierced when I was a baby, so I honestly don't remember the pain on that, but basically I have 2 piercings on my earlobe, and I think I might get a 3rd one, but I got the 2nd hole pierced when I was, I think, like 12 or something like that, but like it honestly barely even hurt. Like it was just like a small pinch. I barely even felt it, and she pierced it with a gun. I know people recommend using needles instead, and yeah, I just like them, and I think I might consider getting a cartilage piercing or something else on my ear in the future. My next piercing is my nose piercing. I started off with a stud, and then eventually I switched into a hoop, and a lot of people say this one hurts a lot, but it didn't hurt for me. When I wanted to switch to the hoop, I went back to my tattoo parlor and I asked the guy to switch to a hoop because the stud does have a smaller size gauge on the jewelry, so I had to ask him to re-pierce it, and honestly that hurt so bad. Like he couldn't get the needle through my nose, so I was literally sitting there and like my nose was just bleeding everywhere, and like my eyes were crying. Like it was like Niagara Falls in this bitch. But like overall, I would basically just rate it like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 4 out of 10. Like it honestly doesn't really hurt, but of course everyone's pain tolerance is different, so that could vary from person to person. Next piercing that I have is my belly button piercing, and I hate the jewelry that I have right now, but I got this when I turned 16. I was like, okay, I don't need my parents' permission for this anymore, so I'm just gonna go be the little rebel self that I was. And I walked into the tattoo parlor with my best friend and my brother, and like my brother could barely even watch me get this pierced. Like he thought he was gonna pass out. Like I don't understand, but like honestly it was so easy. Like you just basically sit down and they just mark the spots with a marker, and then you just tell them if you like how it looks, and then they just pierce it through with the needle, and then they put the jewelry through afterwards, and it honestly barely even hurts. Like I barely felt it. Yeah, it's kind of a weird feeling. It turned out okay, and I honestly would not take it out. Like every time I take out this piercing now, I just find it so ugly. Like I can't picture myself without it anymore, and I would rate that probably a 3 out of 10. Like it barely hurt for me at all whatsoever. I know this is like kind of personal for some people, but like this is what my video is about, so like I'm just gonna say it. But basically one day I just randomly decided that I'm going to get my nipple pierced because, you know, I thought that it looked good. I feel like it's like a love or hate thing for people, but yeah, I got my nipple pierced. I was so scared. Like I thought it was gonna hurt so bad, but like it honestly didn't really hurt for me. Like yeah, it hurts more than your belly button, but like my nose piercing hurt way more than my nipple piercing, so I would probably rate that like a 5 out of 10. Like it barely even hurt. But yeah, if you're scared to get it done, like it doesn't really hurt as long as you don't go in a time like obviously like your cycle changes being a woman, so like don't go when it hurts the most because you're obviously just asking for it. So like if you go in the right time, like it shouldn't hurt at all, and if your piercer knows what he's doing, then it should be fine. But like it wasn't really healing, and it was just getting really gross after a while. Like it was fine for the longest time, and then like I had it for like 9 months, and then eventually it just started getting all gross again, like crusty. Like I know this is gross, but like that's what happened. So like I just took it out. Like I don't have it anymore, and I don't miss it. Like it was kind of just a thing that I randomly did, and it's like I don't regret getting it, but like I don't care that it's gone. And now for the part that you guys probably care most about is my tattoos. So I have right now 5 tattoos. I am honestly planning on getting so much more tattoos. Like when I started getting tattoos, I got them within a 3-month period. So I would get a tattoo, 3 months later I get another one, 3 months later I would get another one, and then now I'm basically just taking a break from tattoos. I am satisfied with what I have right now, and the rest can wait a bit, but of course I'm planning on getting some more within the next 4 months, and eventually I want to like build up to a half sleeve. I think the first tattoo that I got it when I was 18, and I do not regret any of my tattoos at all whatsoever. I love them all, and I know people regret their tattoos, and I recommend you to obviously think about it for a while instead of just randomly going into a tattoo parlor and getting a tattoo. The first tattoo that I got was my thigh tattoo, and I was so scared to get this done, but honestly so excited because I've never gotten a tattoo before. I had no idea how it felt, and I basically, describing the feeling, for me, any tattoo that I got barely hurt. Like for some people the needle just, they can't do it, and it just hurts so bad that once they got their first tattoo they're like never again. But then of course there's other people who are like, after their first tattoo it's just never ending and it becomes an addiction, and then you want more and more and more and more. So that's basically how it turned out for me. But for this tattoo, I always loved like the art and the aesthetic of like flowers, and like when I drew, yeah, I used to draw, but like every time I would draw it'd be like a flower, and I didn't want anything with color, so none of my tattoos have color on them because I just find black and white tattoos so much nicer than colored ones, and also because colored ones can fade with time and they just end up looking, well, in my opinion, I just find that colored tattoos just don't look as good overall after a while. So that's just my reasoning behind that. And I walked into the tattoo parlor and I love my tattoo artist. Like, she did my 3 bigger pieces, and I basically just sat down and gave her my ideas, and she made the stencil for me, and then she just kind of placed it on my thigh and asked me if I liked where it was placed, and I went for it. It was honestly like so bearable, but okay, I'm gonna show you guys because I ramble too much. But like, it is just 2 big roses. I wanted the smaller rose on the bottom and then a bigger rose on the top, and I wanted it to look more realistic. So this is what it looks like, and when I wear shorts it kind of just sticks out a little bit on the bottom. I'm going to rate that one, depending. Okay, let me show you. Basically this whole area didn't hurt at all. I would probably rate that like a 2 or 3 out of 10, and then once I got closer up here to my hip bone, it did hurt a lot more in this area. But I don't have like no specific meaning to this. It's basically just because I love how it looks, and I don't think that every tattoo needs to have a meaning behind it. If you love it, then go for it. It's your body, it's your choice. Not everyone agrees with that. And then my second tattoo that I got is a quote on my ribs that is right here. It just says, "Inhale confidence, exhale doubt." And I basically tell myself all the time when I'm doubting myself that I can do this, I got this. Like, I just always tell myself that, and it just motivates me and makes me feel more confident. So I basically placed that meaning into a quote, and I came up with "Inhale confidence, exhale doubt." The font on it is not really that great, to be honest. It turned out okay. It's on my ribs, no one can really see it, and I still like it, and I love the meaning behind it. This one hurt a bit more than the one on my leg because it is on my ribs, and obviously I'm a small person and I don't hold much fat in that area. So I would have to rate that one probably a 6 or 7 out of 10, but it was totally bearable. Like, I could sit through it. It was fine. I didn't need him to rush or take breaks in between. This one took like no time. It took like 15 minutes. The next tattoo that I got is something on my arm, and I wasn't sure if I wanted any tattoos on my arm because I was like, oh, what if I don't get a job because of this? What if people judge me because of my tattoos? Like, I thought that it was just not as professional as society seems to claim that, but it's nothing too negative, and it doesn't give out any negative impressions, so it's fine. And once again, it has the same meaning as my leg one. I just liked how it looked, but one of the flowers on it I don't even know what it's called, but it's my birth month flower, so that can kind of symbolize something into this piece. But I didn't really want any shading or anything, I just wanted the outline and like a line work piece. So that's basically what I got for it. It's just on my forearm, and it just looks like this. I know that it is kind of faded, but my skin didn't pick up the ink as much in this part of my arm. Basically why it's not as dark as it should be, but of course you can still really notice it. I had to get 2 sessions on this. Honestly, all my tattoos, people said that is like the worst part to get a tattoo, like for pain wise, and I don't get it. Maybe I just have a high pain tolerance, but this one didn't really hurt either. Like it hurt more towards my wrist, of course, because it is a lot more like bony and veiny right there, and it also hurt more in the inner part of my forearm, more towards like my inner elbow area. I would rate this a 6 out of 10 also. It wasn't bad at all, and it took probably like an hour and a half max, same as my leg one. My leg one was closer to 2 because it is a bigger piece. My next tattoo is another quote, because I just love quotes and it's just really motivating for me, and it inspires me and pushes me to do things. It's just like kind of a reminder. So it's on this arm right here. You guys have probably seen it in my videos. It just says, everything happens for a reason. And I just placed it on my inner bicep because I thought it looked better to me, and I was gonna get it on my collarbone, but it's also harder to hide right here. Basically, everything happens for a reason. I believe that everything does happen for a reason. I think there's a reason for everything, even though some things in life we tend to think that, or we tend to wonder why it happened. But I think that there's a reason for everything that happens, and things will get better no matter what happens, and sometimes it's for the better, sometimes for the worse, and it just helps us grow into a better person. It's just really motivating. This one didn't really hurt neither, but I would say it probably hurt more than my rib tattoo. Like this is probably one of my tattoos that hurt the most. So just because it's more of like a tender spot and like a spot that like nothing really touches. And my last tattoo that I have is on the back of my arm right here, and once again, following my flower theme. People used to call me roses, and then people started calling me garden. I just love the aesthetic of flowers, like I said, but for this one I just got a rose, and then I added a little bit of other smaller flowers to it, and a like half of a mandala hidden behind it, and I just really love how this looks. And this is what it looks like. It's probably like my favorite piece as of right now, and I got it in the back of my arm because, like I said, I wanted like a shoulder piece, maybe like a half sleeve for this area, but I just got it on my back arm because it was kind of hidden from the front, like you can't really see it, but then when I turn around it's like bam, it's there. But yeah, this one did not hurt neither, like only towards the bottom of my elbow. So I would rate this one probably like a 4 out of 10, and then like more towards my elbow, maybe like a 7 out of 10. Also towards like the inside of my armpit, because that part hurts also, but it's not bad. It's nothing that you can't tolerate. So yeah, this is everything that I have for today about my tattoos and piercings. I will probably do an updated version once I get more tattoos, because honestly it becomes an addiction, like I said, and I will not be stopping anytime soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below and I will gladly answer them for you. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!